Godly parents, we got some explaining to do. Hey everybody, it is me, Cory, with the keys, here to tell you that we are confusing our children as we send them off to these public schools. I know this had to come from God because it was placed on my heart this morning out of nowhere and I can't get it off my mind, but it makes perfect sense. Think about how you raise your children when they're born. If they're lucky enough not to have to go to daycare, they spend the first 5 years with you. And what do we teach them? That we come from a powerful God, that we are great beings, that we can do anything we put our mind to, and we come from an awesome creator. And then when they're 5 years old, we send them off kicking and screaming to this public school that they don't want to be at, where they got to sit in a dimly lit classroom for 8 hours a day, speak when spoken to, raise their hand if they need to go potty, and the teacher starts indoctrinating them with their beliefs. So then your child comes home one day and he says, hey, guess what, mom or dad? I learned where we really come from. Where's that? Well, there was a big bang out in space, and then this primordial sludge transformed into an amoeba, then that evolved into a lizard, then that evolved into a monkey, and hey, we come from monkeys. What are you going to tell them at that point? Are you going to tell them that the teacher that you have placed them with, the same one that they seek their approval to know whether or not they will be successes or failures, are you going to tell them that that teacher lied to them intentionally? Are you going to tell them that that teacher was mistaken in this one area, but they need to listen to everything else the teacher says, and the teacher is right about everything else, just this one little thing, like where we come from, is the only thing they're wrong about. Now you send them off to this public school, and you tell them if you don't want to be a failure in life, you listen to this person and do everything they tell you to do, and they will mark whether or not you're a success or failure. And if you do really good there, then you get to go to college and get $80,000 in debt. And if you get that piece of paper, you'll be a success in life. But these same people are teaching you false doctrine. So one of two things is going to happen. Either the child is going to believe the teacher and look at you as a fool, or they're going to believe you and ask themselves, why am I sitting in this classroom for 8 hours a day learning false doctrine? How do you justify that? There is no way. And then when they start teaching them about sexuality and all these other things that don't align with your morals and beliefs, what are you going to do then? We are walking our children hand in hand out to give them to the enemy. And then you say, well, Cory, what are we going to do about it? We have to send them to school or we're going to get in trouble. We'll go to jail, which is crazy, but true. So I'm going to give you the solution. This is what you do. If you are able to take those kids out of school right now and get them in homeschool, if you have the ability to do so. If you can't do that, if you don't have the time or whatever it may be, if you have the financial means, get them into a good private school. You got to watch out for those two, but a good private school or a Montessori school. And then I know sometimes even that's not an option. Like I'm not with my child's mother. She wants to send them to public schools. There's nothing I can really do about it. So at that point, I'm going to teach my kids that the school system was created by the Rockefellers, and it is a system designed to create little worker bees. They said, I do not want a nation of free thinkers. I want a nation of workers. And I'm going to teach my kids to play the game and do what they need to do, but that these teachers are not always right, that they do teach false doctrines, that they don't determine whether you will be a success or not. And guess what, baby? When you came home after 8 hours in school and you tell me, hey, Dad, I can't go to the park because I got 3 hours of homework, I'm going to tell you, hey, baby, if you want to do that homework, go ahead and do it. If you don't, Daddy don't care. You've been sitting in that class all day. Let's go play and have fun. Do what you got to do to get through the system, but know that there are more things to life than that degree. I thought I was a failure because I didn't get to go to college because I ended up going to prison after I got kicked out of school. But guess what? By the grace of God, I have become more successful than a lot of people with that college degree. And I'm going to tell them, hey, if you want to be a doctor or a lawyer or you want to do something that requires that degree, go for it, baby. I support you 100%. I'll be right there with you. But that does not determine your success. And I'm going to teach you my morals and values. And if that is contradicted by the school, I'm going to tell you that the school is wrong. And if at any point, if when you're 15, you want to get into work for these programs, go get your GED, that is going to teach you about entrepreneurship, about financial literacy, how to start a business, how to build credit, all the things that they don't teach you in school, because school is not designed for you to be a leader and for you to be successful. It's designed for you to be docile and submissive and a little worker bee in their factories. And you heard that from me, Cory, with the keys.